Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Stage Stories with Jerry Strauss. That's me. And Celebrity Stage Stories is brought to you, of course, by Edge Magazine. Each issue of Edge explores a compelling cultural theme with an intriguing blend of essays, articles, interviews, artwork, and photography, along with interviews with the biggest names in TV, movies, music, and more. Visit Edge Magazine's website for free digital versions of the magazine, exclusive digital content, and more at edgemagonline.com, and follow them at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. And speaking of today we have got a fantastic conversation because we have got a fantastic guest here with us. She is someone who has been living her best life as of late. She's had a great career thus far, and we are on the fast track up, up, up. Danielle Larracuente, she is here.
Yeah.
Hello. I can feel the enthusiasm, like the excitement just coming from the screen from you. This is so cool.
Yeah, definitely. That's my default. You got to, man. You got to.
Let me ask you, and we're gonna go inside baseball here, but I was just having a conversation, off screen before we hit record about about going to the gym first thing in the morning. Are you the kind of person that would go to the gym first thing in the morning?
Not willingly.
Okay.
Yes, I have to at this point. I am also a mom of a 5-year-old. So on top of that, my career, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businesswoman, and I have a 5-year-old. So I'm like, I got to get it in where I fit in because, it really, really, I look at it more of a health kind of thing. So it really, really puts my head where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah, I do like it. I force myself, but
you're a hero amongst heroes just for being capable of doing it, even if you don't necessarily like it all the time. But
right.
I could just tell that you have a lot of energy and you utilize the hours of your day to the max. You have to, right?
I got a list. I'm like, all right, that's checked off. That's checked off. Keep it moving, Danielle. Running on espresso.
Well, look, we want to talk about so many exciting things from your past, from your present. We're going to hit it on the head right now because, people are seeing and loving you. Like this season, you're a part of This Is Us, which is, it doesn't really get any bigger as far as people not only loving the show but also like really being into each and every character that's introduced on that show, right?
Oh my God. I'm kidding me? Like it is like the master class of all master classes as an actor myself. And it's so kind of crazy because I'm really into affirmations and manifestations, and we'll get into it, but I took a break in acting, and in 2019 I made a list of the shows I wanted to be on, and that was number 1 on my list.
Wow.
And I made it in the last season. Right
Wow.
there.
Photo finish. That's amazing. I mean, that's not an easy task. That's like calling your home run shot, like pointing out to the bleachers and saying, I'm going to nail it, because it doesn't get any bigger or probably harder to join the cast of than This Is Us. What's the experience been like for you, as far as the world, the fan base, the attention that you've gotten from from just being on this show?
Well, to be honest, because my episode airs the 2nd of May, the first one. So I'll be in 3 consecutive episodes. So I haven't felt it yet.
Right.
But
people know, right? I mean,
yes.
Well,
just my people who follow me and stuff like that. But I would have to say that set is like, again, a masterclass as an actor. Like, I remember my first scene when they were like, action, and I was in the room with John Huertas and Mandy Moore. Are you kidding me? And I remember them saying like their first line, and they just have such an amazing strength in timing and so sure of themselves as actor. I was like, they said cut. I said, oh snap. I better bring my A game. Like, that was a masterclass. on and off the screen. They are so supportive. They made me feel like I was just as big as them. They
Mhm.
wanted to know about my life. I mean, they're such a family. I mean, down to Justin and Chrissy and oh my God, Sterling. I just want to like hug and kiss. I love them so much. It is such an amazing cast, and I could only dream to work with them again. It was amazing.
That's really awesome. You mentioned family, and I wanna go back a little bit and just kind of trace how you got to this place. This is like that point in the movie where they say, "Gee, I bet you're wondering how I got here." And then we go to the early days, and this is interesting. I did not know that you're originally from Cortland Manor. You're from the whole other side of the country, and
Hey.
your parents, is this true that they were both, NYPD? They were police officers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I get a lot of slack being from Westchester. A lot of New Yorkers are like, "Oh, you ain't from New York." And I'm like,
Right.
"Listen, I'm your favorite Westchester girl. That's it." But I actually started off in beauty pageants at 3 years old.
Okay.
I have all brothers. I'm the only girl. So that speaks for itself. So I've always been like, "Look at me, strutting my stuff." And
Yeah.
so my mom got me in it. Both my parents are retired NYPD. My dad made detective, and my mom got hurt on the job at after 10 years. But they were not like the stage parents.
No.
That was like the last thing on their mind. I remember my mom like kind of stopped taking me on go-sees when I got into acting. And I remember like at like 5 or 6 years old, I was like, "Ma, you need to call them because I haven't been going down to the city." She's like, "Oh, brother," she remembered. So I've always been a huge driving force of my career ever since I was little. I don't know what it was. I just knew I was going to be on there. And I would like tell stories. I would look in the mirror and I would play out scenes that I saw on TV and play different things with my cousins. And it's just been always a thing that I just knew in my heart. So I've been doing, since like, again, like I was 4 years old, landed a big part at 9 on Broadway and The Lion King on Broadway.
Yes. Yeah, which is crazy. Do you, we've had, Amina Kaplan on the show who has been, involved with that show for some time as a touring director, and, I think she's been involved both in the New York and the touring
Yeah,
versions of the show, and of course
yeah.
from The Office and such, and, people don't realize just what a cultural phenomenon, what a force that show is, just to be a part of the legacy of that thing. And like, what did that was that something that impacted you at that age? Or I mean, it had to have just been exciting to be on a stage, let alone a Broadway stage.
I don't think I understood the how big it was.
Mhm.
But what I try to remember now as an adult, I was so wrapped up in the story and the magic of it. I mean, it felt like a fairy tale for me. I didn't realize that it was like a Broadway production,
Yeah.
but it was just, I try to remember that as an actor now. It's like that's what keeps you going. Is like being in the story and telling stories and making things come to life, and hopefully a little girl can see me and be like, I can be a cop and I can, be on Broadway and stuff like that. So I was so wrapped up in that. I had such a good time. It is one of the most magical, amazing shows. Everybody has to go see it at least once.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that you just can't you forget how long it has been around and how powerful and how popular it still is. There's a reason for that. That's what the iconic shows do. They live forever. And you are a part of that legacy, which is really awesome. And
Mhm.
now you talked about your parents. I mean, I don't know if you would say they were not necessarily supportive of your career. They weren't
Always
really
supportive.
always
Always.
supportive.
Always. They just were like, "All right, I'll go," but like,
Yeah. Well, that had to
they
have been tough with both of them being, they weren't, like you said, they weren't showbiz parents. So just finding the time and the schedule, like going out of their way to help you and get you to places, I mean, that shows a level of support and dedication from them
Oh my god,
from
I have
that.
such a strong family unit. All my brothers, me, we're all in, our passion, whatever it is. Like one of
Mhm.
my brothers is in cars and he just absolutely loves it. And he's an entrepreneur. And my parents, I cannot say enough of how supportive. Like my dad will find a clip of me. And I'm like, how did you find that? I was researching all day. I found it. So, I mean, they've always, always, always like, go after your dreams, go do what you want as long as you're happy.
That's
So I'm
awesome.
grateful. Yeah.
That's really great. And then at the age of 15, is this true that your mom moved with you to California? Now you're going to start the next chapter of your career on the other side of the country. That's a big step.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of theater and I got to the age of like 15 and I was like, I really want to do TV and LA is where it's at, right?
Yeah.
So my mom at the time was retired. She got like again, she got hurt on the job in the line of duty. And she was like, you know what, Danielle? I want to be a lawyer. And I was like, what? All the kids were out the house. I was the last one. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, let's go to California, me and you, and let's go pursue our dreams. So fast forward, I'm here, and my mom is a successful civil rights lawyer in Los Angeles.
Wow, that's amazing.
Second career, like hitting her win, trial after trial. I mean, she's awesome.
It's really, I mean, you talked about manifesting, but you, from the beginning of your life, seem to have been in this mindset, and a lot of it coming from your parents. If you want to do something, set your mind to it and go for it, and don't set limitations on yourself. And anything is possible. Is that the way you feel about just generally things in life?
Of course, there's those times where you're like, oh my God, this is a little bit hard, or, whatever. But I think one thing that always pushes me forward is what's the next right thing I can do right now? What's in my control right now that I can do? And if that's getting up and going to the gym, or I'm very proactive, you would probably hear from my team. I do not sit around and wait. Like, we are a team. It's a collaborative thing. We're trying to make it to the top together. So if I hear about something, I don't wait for my agents or anybody to be like, hey, I'm like, hey, what's going on with this, guys? Hey, let's do this. Let's do this together. And I feel like a lot of people in the industry, it's also a business side of it. And it's
Mhm.
also like, what can I do proactively? And if that's sometimes take a rest and like, give yourself some grace. I had to learn that. I think that was a big lesson for me.
Well, it's interesting, just looking through all the things that you've done big and small, because in addition to, I mean, you're on Broadway at 9 years old, but still along the way during this journey, you take the time to earn a cosmetology license as well as your BS in psychology. I mean, this just feels like I just want this to be a part of my life. I want this to be an extension of who I am. I want to expand myself. You're always looking for the next thing that you wanna do, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so when I was 18 years old, I took a break from acting because I said I really want to concentrate on other aspects of this industry that will help me more and make sure that this is really, I mean, I was doing it since I was 4 years old. So I was like, I really want to make sure this is what I want to do. So
Mhm.
psychology, I thought, it goes hand in hand with acting.
Yeah.
Psychology is learning about a person and why they react the way they do. So I was like, that's going to be helpful. Let me go get that really quick.
Yeah.
I was like,
Really quick.
me just go get a 4-year degree really quick, And then and then I was like, all right, that's done. And I worked in a treatment center for a while and I just watched and I learned and it gave me a lot of compassion for a lot of roles that I went after.
Mhm.
And then I went to cosmetology school because I was like, I really want to make sure that, I'm giving myself grace. I come from a Puerto Rican background and I have wild, crazy curly hair. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm looking right. And if I know that I can help them. So I'm just looking at my career from every aspect. Did that for a while. And then I was like, I had my son and I said, you know, acting is my true passion. And how can I sit there and tell him, go after your dreams if I'm not?
Right.
So I said, I
Right.
got to do it. I just like both feet in, got a babysitter. And I was like, we're doing this.
Was it tough? Was it tough to get back in from ground zero because, all the momentum, I guess. It feels like it's a momentum thing at times, right? Your name's not out there anymore. Now you have to start over.
Oh my God. It was, I would say that is the greatest, one of the greatest accomplishments in my life because I learned about myself. Also, I had to start from scratch. Yeah, the talent was there or the experience, but when I was in it, there was no such thing as self tapes. There was no such like everybody that was in the industry casting, they all moved on. So I had no more connections. And I started from square one. I just threw myself in a class. I threw myself into how to learn how to self-tape yourself classes, auditions classes. I mean, that's all I was doing for the first year was classes.
Mm,
And then I was going to every workshop that I could think of that would help me get an agent again. Because a lot of people were like, "You've been out the game for how many years?
right.
You know, your last credit was how long ago?" And I was like, "Trust me." And it took was, my manager to take Will Levine to take a chance on me, and it just snowballed from there.
What was your first bite, so to speak? What was the first role that you got in this new era of your career?
It was Vita gave me a recurring role, 3 episodes. I played a chola from East LA. Funniest thing, the lead, they're amazing, but they're like, I want to say, don't quote me on it, probably 5'7" or whatever. And I'm supposed to be bullying her. I'm 5'1", guys.
Oh god.
They kept me across the street. And so it's the running theme. I'm like, put me on an apple box or keep me across
Yeah.
the street. My personality is strong enough. So
I'm imagining you like 12 feet closer to the camera than her to make her but there must have been something something else I think we're learning about you. I'm assuming you can flip that switch and you can be and you can act someone who has the something within you to be a bully, no matter what your size is.
you, you know what? I just say I'm an actor and I love portraying different types of character because I have compassion for all. There's a compassion for that bully who, what I learned in story is to her, they were taking over her neighborhood. They were, making it new and like trying to get, a lot of hipsters in. And she's like, I grew up here, and you know, my aunt lives down the street. And so there was that pain there that I connected to. And
Yeah.
again, she portrayed it not in the great way, but just for me to hold on to that, I was able to do that character. And I have been very, very lucky to have a diverse type of characters. I haven't been typecast, thank God.
Mm.
So it's really good. Yeah. And you can only dream of that as an actor.
That's awesome. And you said that you have a 5-year-old now. Um, what how has the balancing act been as everything has snowballed?
Oh my God. It is a wild ride in my household. Right now he's at school, thank God, because he would have been like bebopping around.
Yeah.
He is a blast. He definitely took my personality, so he keeps me on my toes. Ma,
Mm,
pack my lunch and make sure this and da 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 da. And what's great is that he's a little actor too.
uh,
Fell into it.
mhm.
He actually, has just did a national commercial for Nationwide and
Oh,
just booked a really big role for Netflix. So I mean, he's working out there.
wow. You see, when most parents say, "Oh, my kid's an actor," they mean that they're, like, performing, like, a scene from Encanto, like, in the living room. Like,
Mhm.
you're like, "Oh, yeah, booked a national commercial, no big deal, Netflix series. It's gonna have a stand-up special in a couple months." Like
This kid's gonna beat me, man. I'm like, holy. I mean, he just walks in the room. He's so funny. His name is Benson, and he goes, "Benson's here," and you can't just announce yourself, kid.
That I think we need a sitcom around this kid. I've never seen him, I don't know him. We need a sitcom, and we need that to be the catchphrase for, like, 6 seasons at least, minimum.
And he grew up in LA, and he has this like New York accent. I'm like, "What up, guys? Benson's here." I'm like, "What the heck? Are you from Staten Island? What's going on?"
He is officially the coolest kid in probably many a square mile in your area, I think,
Oh my God, he
already.
cracks me up. He
It's
cracked me up.
well, listen, I mean, we wanna touch on at least some of the cool things. You've done a lot of really unique things through your career. When was it that you were on Saturday Night Live? Because you did an appearance with Jimmy Fallon, right?
I did. I can't wait. A dream of mine one day is when I'm on Jimmy Fallon to be like, You know me. So it was a skit. I think it was right after The Lion King. I would say I was about 11 years old, where
Mhm.
he was playing Falcon Man. It was like a little skit that he did back in the day. I don't know if you remember. And he's like hanging from a mountain, and the whole skit is about like this falcon comes and he keeps asking for help, and the falcon keeps bringing him all the wrong things.
Okay.
So he brought a bunch of little Hispanic kids, and the falcon told the kids, I guess apparently, that he was a piñata. So I come in beating him with a stick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was awesome, and Missy Elliott was performing, so I got to meet her and tweet, and it was, I mean, for me, I didn't even think anything of it. I was like, "I love you," but nowadays, I'm like, "Holy crap."
Mm.
I got to meet Jimmy Fallon. I think I would, like, die right now.
I can't wait for the day that you get to tell that story to him on television.
I cannot wait, and, like, they gave me a line halfway through. I think I had to say, like, "El Falcón." I was, like, so excited to say that to
Oh
him.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, here's a rite of passage that I feel like we've talked to many people who just because it was on TV for so very long, ER. You did a
Yeah.
guest spot on ER.
Mhm.
What is it like because it's such an established thing at the time,
Yeah.
but it's also there's so many people passing through and coming in and out, and what was that environment like to walk into?
You know, I tell you, that was one of, every role is different. And there's roles that, you get to really take in the environment, and there's roles that are so heavy and emotional that kind of have to hone in and kind of keep to yourself. For me. So this role, I was playing a homeless teenager
Mm,
who unfortunately had a group of kids with her, and we're kind of dealing with men to help feed her friends. So I ended up getting pregnant, and I'm in this home, like under this bridge, and this is another one. John Stamos and Shane West come
mhm.
in. I had one leg on John Stamos and the other leg on Shane West delivering my baby. Nowadays, again, I would die. You know what? I never got to tell Mandy Moore because she was in a Walk to Remember with Shane West.
Right, right, right.
I have to tell her now. I'm going back tomorrow. I'm going to be like, Shane West held my leg up.
You're like, what is it? You're like Kevin Bacon, like the 6 Degrees thing. Like you
Yes.
you are the connection of everybody in Hollywood at this point.
Oh my God. And I just can't wait for it to all come full circle for me.
I mean, you've worked with Jimmy Fallon, so technically anyone that he has had on the Tonight Show or on on the Late Show, like whatever, like, yeah, that's a connection now. You are
Yeah.
now you're like the ultimate webmaster in that.
Yes, please. Did you hear that, God? But going back to ER, it was phenomenal. Again, I was going through labor and having a baby, so it was amazing for my career, and being
Mhm,
homeless and going through that, and they were amazing, and it was definitely like a huge milestone for me. It definitely launched me.
sure. Now here's a unique one that you got to do that I think a lot of people are finding their experiences in these Hallmark or Lifetime Christmas movies are life altering. I believe for so many people. You did a movie called Mistletoe in Montana with Melissa Joan Hart. It doesn't get any more Hallmark Christmas movie than that.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so I mean, is that something that you hear feedback on? Because there's such an avid, rabid fan base for each and every one of those movies. Is that something that kind of affects you to this day, just being a part of that world?
You know what? Like, I've heard it so much more among actors. I think it's a huge accomplishment that a lot of actors really want to do. It's like, I just want to be in a Christmas movie. I just want to be a movie on Lifetime. And I did
Yeah.
both. And then, hello, meet Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina. I was just like, what do I do? Like, and then her mom. I mean, oh my God, Paul, her whole, the production and it was such a dream. I was in Montana. Hello. It was just phenomenal. I had the best time, the best outfits. I
Mm.
literally now listen to country music all the time.
Life altering, see?
Secretly, I am such a big country music fan because of Montana. My next big dream, and I'm putting that out there. I am dying to get on Yellowstone. I don't even know what I would do, but just want to be there,
You
breathe
shoot
the air.
high. I applaud you. You shoot high and you know, there's a segue for you because you shoot high, you shoot for the three-pointer. You were on a bunch of WNBA, what was it, promos? Commercial break promos for them?
Yes.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah, as
a
a kid, they'd be like, I got to meet a couple stars, basketball stars, and I'd be the girl like, we're coming right back. We'll be back, you know. And they do
wow.
little skits for me, and I that was one of my first hosting gigs, which was so fun. And I definitely had to learn how to dial it down in a sense. When I'm talking, it's great, but when you're a host, it's very different because you have to kind of let that person speak.
Right.
Remember them telling me, like, Danielle, you're great, but like you're making all these reactions with your face. I would just love what they're saying. So I'd be like, yes, yes. And they'd be like, you're relaxed.
Yeah. Hey, exciting times. It's better. I feel like it's probably better to have to dial it down than to have to ratchet it up. You know what I mean? Like it's
Hmm.
better to have that and then be able to kind of temper it a little bit. So I mean,
Hmm.
clearly, look, from hosting to drama, like you've done like every kind of thing there is to do, so to speak. Which begs the question, and we also have to mention that this time of your life is very exciting beyond This Is Us because Bosch Legacy is something that a lot of people have been really excited about and looking forward to. And on I am TV. Wait, IMB.
IMDb, I know it's hard. It's
IMD.
actually had been changed to Freevie.
Thank
Thank
you.
God, because it's a lot easier to say.
Thank God. Yes.
It's
but
a
the
dream. Um, because my parents were retired police officers. I
yeah.
remember going to my first fitting. I play a LAPD officer, rookie cop, or what they say, a boot on the show.
Mm,
Um, I sent a picture to my parents, and my dad starts crying, and because they met on the job, he goes, "You look just like your mom. Oh my
wow.
god!" And my mom's crying, and my brothers are crying, and it was like again a mark in my milestone because it's like to only play that because my parents, that's all that was them, that was our lifestyle, was phenomenal. I definitely got some pointers. I'm like, do I walk
Mm.
like this, do I do this? So before I got to set, I think I was very well versed.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. And this is, obviously sort of a sequel series. The novels are well known. Like this is a body of work that's continuing that people are super excited about. So you're part of this awesome legacy now as part of this new iteration of the show. Um, but to get back to my original question before I totally derailed myself, you've done it all, but you haven't done it all yet, right? Like, what is something that you've mentioned a few things you're manifesting, but what's a different type of thing for you that you've never done? Maybe a totally different genre of performance or TV or whatever the case may be that you'd like to do that you have not done yet.
I want to be on that silver screen. I haven't been in theaters yet. Movies would be, something that would be amazing for me just to be able to accomplish that. I would
Mm,
love to take on, you know, uh, a true story about an actor or a professional, and just really dive into that character would be phenomenal.
yeah.
Um, I want to dabble in everything. I do some Shakespeare. I would do it. I would
Why
totally
not?
do it. Like I mentioned, Yellowstone. I think also, besides from acting, I am big about being a Latina in this industry and making the way. So I really, really want to make a point of opening the door for somebody behind me as they open the door for me.
Mm,
Big, Eva Longoria. I mean, I could just go. The list goes on and on of what they've made and the the path that they opened for me, and just doing a lot of more empowering of Latina women out here, and uh, encouraging, and trying to do some, even programs or anything that I can do to get my hands on the younger generation to move that forward. I did mention that I'm also an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So I love all that business stuff. I want to get my hands in everything. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I actually, I have a business called Side Hustles for the Entertainer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I dabble in different side hustles. I got ebooks out. Basically, I know how it is to want to do a dream. And my dad always says this thing to me, constantly tells me this every day. But he's like, acting or being in this entertainment industry is like the DMV. You grab a ticket and you wait in line. But
Mm.
if you get out that line, they're not going to call your name. If you stay in the line, they're going to call your name. So that's
Yes.
what I just keep in that mindset. It's a journey, it's long, and you just keep your ticket, and you find ways to make yourself more comfortable. So, I have this venture and that venture, and I own actually ATM machines all over LA, and I do that.
What?
Oh, yeah. So,
With your
I mean,
spare time. Yeah, sure.
what time? I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. As I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, Danielle, you're a little nuts.
I was gonna say, on your list of future goals, maybe a little bit of sleep might be something to throw on there because it can't be happening now.
I know, I know. I have to schedule those days in. Like every 10
Mm,
days, I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
yeah.
And then I find myself on my laptop. I mean, but that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
I just really feel like whatever it is, as
Mhm.
long as you're happy doing it, it doesn't feel like work. And that's how I feel.
That's really awesome. That's awesome. That seems to be the driving force behind your entire career and every 342 parts of it. Like, that's it's really amazing. I feel, at least temporarily inspired. I'll try to make it last. I don't know. I might take a nap in the afternoon, but, uh, but,
Self-care, take naps. I'm learning that the hard way. You got to do
yeah,
it.
gotta crash sometime. But
Mhm.
I think a lot of us have not only learned a lot about you, but learned the benefits just from hearing you talk about your own success stories. It's a cool real life reminder of the benefits of having a positive attitude and going for what you want, and all the hard work that you've put behind everything. So thank you for sharing everything. I mean, which is still just a little bit, a little fraction of everything that I'm sure you've had going on, but
I know, right? We could talk all day.
absolutely, yeah, but we do want to congratulate you, of course. This is us. Your run is coming up soon, so
May
uh,
2nd. Yeah, May 2nd is the first episode that you will see me.
absolutely. So keep an eye out. And of course, Bosch Legacy on Freevie.
Freevie, so that's it used to be IMDb TV, now it's Freevie, and it airs May
Awesome,
5th.
awesome. Big, big, big month for you. And of course we know that you're gonna have even bigger things coming up this year and next year, and it's just gonna snowball. And we're gonna look for you on the Tonight Show as well, because that's gotta happen. And I guess the last thing I should ask you, and this could take a few hours. What Where do you want people to follow you, or check out everything you've got going on? Maybe I should go and come back while you list all this.
Well, I am on Instagram, so you can do at Danielle Larracuente. IMDb, you can see all the stuff that I'm doing, interviews that are coming out. I'm trying to be more well versed with Twitter. We'll see. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the heck is that? But that's pretty much it.
Okay, and I mean, as far as your uh the any of your side hustles, so to speak, is there any where that you want to point people to check out any of your side stuff?
Yeah, so on Instagram, I have links on there where side hustles of the entertainer. You can grab an ebook learning how, if you're an actor, entertainer out here, and you're like, man, I need to have an open schedule so I can do my dreams.
Mhm.
I'll teach you how to work an ATM or different. I used to do vending machines, not doing that anymore. See, making time,
There
making
you
time
go.
for myself.
There
But I also have an ebook on that, and
you're
I'm
practically retired now, by the way. Like, congratulations on slowing
literally,
down.
literally. But yeah, so I think I made those books because again, I want to pave the way and I made a lot of mistakes going in. So I was like, listen, I'm making a book. These are all the things you shouldn't do. And this is how to get you going, making some money, and you still have time to do what you really love.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, I'm glad that you're able to do things that you really love and things are coming out into the world just within the next few days and weeks that we're all going to really love. So thank you for that. And thank you so much for taking a little bit of time that you had today, I'd imagine, to be on the show. It's been awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you guys for checking us out once again here, Celebrity Stage Stories, Edge Magazine. Make sure you check it out, edgemagonline.com. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.